I'm going to show you what I've been doing for the last 6 months, because I spent about half the week now working from home, helping write stories for our morning news, and then also anchoring from home as well. And I have turned tons of stories from home, shooting them through Zoom, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. And then I've also put together a weekly podcast from my house as well. And most of this is being done with gear I already owned. Most of it was personal gear. Most of the things I'm going to show you I own and I had bought over the years. And then a lot of it is just using stuff around my house, getting creative, like going back to the basics of just good storytelling. So in the last session, you heard about the rule of thirds and using a tripod and using whatever light is available to you and figuring out those things. And a lot of it is going back to those basics. And I know you've been learning in school. So let me go ahead and give you, I'm going to just stand up here, move a few things around, and I'll give you an idea of what I've been doing. So I'm going to take this off the tripod after telling you guys to use a tripod, but that's all right. Okay. So here is what I see. This has been my setup for the last 6 months. So this is in my living room and into my kitchen. I have 2 lights. I'll come around this way to show you. I use 2 lights. So one of them is a ring light, like the one you saw in the last session. This is just something off of Amazon. I think it was about $25, and it's a USB. So that USB plugs into one of my laptops here. Easy peasy. It's also got a little phone tripod there to stand, which is great. The second light I'm using is a Dracast. It's called a soft yoga light. And I have it on just a pretty inexpensive $20 stand. The light itself is a little bit pricier, but has turned out to be a really good investment for me. And it's very easy. So it's simple, turn on and off. I can turn it up if I need to. I've discovered this is about the right setting for me. And what I really like about it, for me, is that I leave it set up and I leave it in the garage. But what's really great, because I have kids and dogs, is I can touch it. So it's cool to the touch. So for me, knowing I was going to be here for a while doing this, safety kind of became a big deal. Now, if I take you around to this angle where I sit, I am using my personal laptop and Skype to be able to dial into the station. So the producers will reach me that way. And then over on this side is, hang on one second. Sorry, I got logged out. Is a program called ENPS. And ENPS is a news program where we can access wire copy. We can talk to each other no matter where we are. And this is how I'm writing scripts from home. So this is a news rundown right here. This is the noon news, which I actually anchored in the station today. And when I'm sitting here, I'm following along and I'm looking at all these different stories. So if, say, the producers call me and they say, we're going to have you anchor the A block of the news, I would pull up all of these scripts here. And usually, just to make them easier to see, I might choose to enlarge them. And as I'm reading, I can flip between all these scripts. And this is also how I'm editing scripts as well. I write a lot of scripts when I'm working from home. So those are the 2 components there. So then you get to the next element, which is good sound. Now, right now, I'm just going off of my phone audio because it's quiet. And this is casual. But that is not great for going on television because your goal is you're looking for really good sound. So I took my podcast microphone, which is a Blue Yeti mic, which is kind of like the standard entry level for a lot of podcasts. You can get these on Amazon, Best Buy, I mean, really almost anywhere. And they are a USB mic. And so I have that just plugged into the computer there. And so off of Skype, I'll select that as my audio source, right? But, and I noticed that somebody just commented on this, I have this. So that is called a pop filter. And the pop filter is one of my favorite things because the pop filter just smooths the sound out, right? Pop filter is a very inexpensive thing too, because there's really nothing to it, right? It's just a little bit of soft material there. And actually, back in the day, true story, flip this around. Back in the day, and that day was a long time ago, I used to work with a photographer in Des Moines, Iowa, and he had, because he didn't want to purchase one of these, because this is before Amazon, he would take a pair of like women's pantyhose and he would put it over the microphone to use as a pop filter. It worked, but I'm not going to lie. It was really weird. Okay, so we'll come back here. So I use the pop filter because it just softens your sound. And there are a couple letters when you are recording your stories that will have a tendency to pop, pop, pop. The letter P is a really obvious one, right? So when you use a pop filter and you back off of it a little bit, the nice thing is it kind of softens out that sound. And if you're new to voicing a story or learning how to use your voice, those letters, T's, P's, they have a real hard edge to them and they can make it just feel kind of harsh sounding, right? So this is where I've been sitting.